another 30 more days. I just got the news, a notification really, right before I started recording. And it still really hasn't sunk in. 30 more days of this. Not because the consequences or the symptoms, the virus itself and its death tolls have been astronomical compared to other things we deal with, but because of models, because of modeling that has been revised multiple times over. For 30 more days, businesses are going to have to deal with this. For 30 more days, families are going to have to deal with this. For 30 more days, churches aren't going to meet. I mean, what are you guys going to do? We talk about a lot of this on Reformed Jellicle, AD and I. 30 more days. So let's talk about that today. Welcome to How to Build a Tent, the podcast on how to make you successful. Even in these times where the economy doesn't run, there's still plays to be made. There are still steps to take, procedures, precautions. Obviously, the more prepared you are, the better. But we need to be thinking about what the world looks like after being shut down for 45 days. 2 weeks plus another 30 days. 45 days. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to be different. And there's going to be a lot of opportunities that come from this. Those who are prepared, those who have savings. I know a lot of you have talked to me about how you have the savings, that you've built up a cash reserve. Good for you, man. There's going to be a lot of opportunities from this because there's going to be a lot of small businesses that aren't going to be able to sustain, to last 45 days. That's a long time for some businesses to not be able to work. My name is Matt Williams. We're part of the Fight Laugh Feast Network. Over to flfnetwork.com. Put in HGBT in the memo field. You'll get that 15-ounce mug, which you can also buy on my store if you go to howtobuildatent.com. You get tons of other great benefits. They have so much great content that's being put out. And you get $100 off our conference that's coming up in October, way after these 30 days. So go over to flfnetwork.com. Put in HGBT. You know, and you get a shirt right now, too. So you get a shirt, a mug, $100 off the conference. I mean, you need to go be a member right now. If you have any questions, comments, you can email me, Matt at howtobuildatent.com. You can find me on all the social media sites, How to Build a Tent. If you're watching me on YouTube, I'd appreciate a subscribe and a like button. That really helps. There's this one guy I can tell from the data. This is one guy who goes in and thumbs downs all of my videos. So if you guys could, rally behind me and go to my YouTube and like the shows, that'd be great. All right, 30 more days. And you know what's the craziest thing is I'm already hearing talks of another stimulus. $2 trillion, $2.4 trillion, I think it is. Spending $150 million for PBS, $100 million for the arts. We still haven't even got our checks yet. And I'm already hearing conversations of people saying we need to bail people out. This spending can't continue, guys. We are like an 18-year-old who got their first credit card and spent a lot of money and then got sick and then spent a lot more money because they got really scared and is just keeping spending money and more money and more money and not being able to work. That's our nation. That's our nation right now. And we're already talking about giving another credit card, another bailout. So I was talking with one person about this, just texting back and forth. It's like, who else could we bail out? Well, we could bail out the same people over again. We can give another bailout. But there are plenty of other companies, lobbyists that are going to take some bailout money, are going to be the PBSs of the world, the UPSs of the world. It's really an interesting time. I was talking with somebody else about this, and I was talking about just Trump's approval rating, at least even to me. I mean, it seems like his approval rating is doing pretty well right now. But this is a long way off from the election. And if we truly are going to be shut down for 45 days, I don't know if Trump's going to win. I think the deep state's finally going to get its wish. I think all of the big government elites are going to take him down with this. And if you listen to his press conference that he did Sunday night, right after or right before I recorded this, he pointed to people in the front row giving him this advice, giving him these models, giving him these projections, and saying the worst is to come is in 2 weeks. 2 more weeks is when the worst is going to come. And then we're going to be shut down for 30 more days. In 14 days is going to be the worst, and we're shut down to the 30th because of models that have been continually revised, continually wrong. Not just with the coronavirus, but it's been wrong with even the global warming, which these same people that are doing the models are doing these models for this outbreak. And I'm hearing a lot of pundits, a lot of experts, a lot of people on Yahoo Finance, CNBC, Fox News, telling us what is going to happen after this 45 days of shutdown. What is going to be needed if this $2 trillion stimulus package is going to be enough? If we're going to need another stimulus. And if we get it, then we'll be okay. Then our economy will be okay. 2 weeks being shut down. 2 weeks was long enough. 2 weeks led to $2 trillion bailout. What's 30 more days going to lead to? Do you think businesses can last for 45 days without business? Do you think the most prepared business, the most prepared small business with the most cash on hand out of any small business, are they going to be in good shape after 45 days? No. Most small businesses could not go a month, couldn't go a couple weeks without having cash inflows. They have bank loans that they take out to make payroll often because they need to float their employees until the new deals that come in. But no deals are coming in, no customers. How are they supposed to survive? They don't. 45 days is a death nail to all small business, which is the biggest or largest group, I should say, of people that employ Americans. I believe that's still true. I could be wrong, but it's pretty close. From what I remember, the statistics I've read, that the majority of people employed are employed by small business. Now, small business, what you're thinking of, a couple people in a shop. Small business is defined by 500 people or less. That's a small business, 500 employees or less. So what do we do? How do we plan ahead? I talked about earlier on, what do we do? How do we become successful in a climate like this where the economy shut down? Well, one of the things, honestly, is something that's too late if you haven't done, is to be prepared, to have savings, to have your debts paid down, to have a nest egg, to have a fund to make moves with when something like this would happen. So if you haven't done that, I mean, there's nothing you can do now, but you can learn from this and for the next time it happens, because I guarantee something like this is going to happen. And then we're going to talk about some other things I've been thinking about. Again, I've just been hearing about this for 45 days, so there might be more. We might have more shows on this. I might be tweeting about this more. I might be posting on my blog more. I'm starting to post on howtobuildatent.com. Just short articles. I'm seeing maybe 1 or 2 comments in the title of it that I think is impactful, important to having to do with success, understanding the economy, understanding trends, where the economy is going, different technology and things like that. So make sure you follow me on social media sites so those get posted, or you can just go to howtobuildatent.com and look at my blog there where we have my store and you can buy stuff like that too. Before we get into what I think we need to be doing or could be doing or looking to do, talk to you about Kingsman Grooming Products. If you go over to kingsmangroomingpros.com, you can see all of high quality products that you could ever want for your face. They have lotions, beard products. I just shaved my beard a little bit because my son started grabbing it when wrestling and like clawing me down. It was unfair. My 2-year-old was getting an advantage over me, so I had a little trim it down. But I still use the products because they smell good, they taste taste great. I don't eat them. They smell good. They feel great is the sense I was looking for. They have pre-shave, aftershave, beard forming products, beard oils, lotions, leather products, all that stuff. Christian company, small business. They need your support. So if you're buying these products, go buy it from them. You get 10% off when you use HTBT in checkout. That's KingsmanGroomingPros.com. KingsmanGroomingPros.com. So one of the things that is going to be really difficult after this 45 days is, and this is the big if it goes to 45 days, because of the uncertainty and the destruction that 45 days of not having an economy at functioning will do, I don't think it's going to go 45 days. There's no way. Unless, I don't even want to speculate. I don't know. I don't know how it can go 45 days. I'm seriously perplexed that this would even be proposed. Because just 2 weeks was a $2 trillion plus a $4 trillion for liquidity package. 30 more days. So if you think the economy is hurt enough to spend $6 trillion, what is 30 more days going to do? Thinking about that in the context of our whole budget, guys. Our whole budget. So what's going to happen? Small businesses are going to go out of business, which means that larger businesses are going to take over market share. Their revenues are going to go up. The big businesses are going to be fine. They have the ability, they do have the cash on hand. They have the assets to borrow against to float themselves until this is over. Small businesses do not. So what we're going to see if this goes to 45 days is small businesses going out of business. We're going to be seeing big businesses taking over. The little mom and pop's plumbing stores, the mom and pop restaurants. We're going to be seeing way more chains. We're going to see more Lowe's, more Home Depots, more Costco's, more Walmarts, more Amazon. But we're not going to see the little shops, the one-offs, and as many of those. They're going to go out of business. 45 days, you cannot stay in business. You can't. So what should you do? Well, there's going to be probably some more sell-offs in the stock market. Looks like I got in a little too soon. Luckily, I didn't get in all the way. So I'm still looking to buy up stocks. I'm going to be doing that. But I'm going to be looking to buy into the Dow some more, the S&P 500, big corporations. Those are the ones that are going to benefit from this. They're going to get the bailout packages. They're going to get the resources from the government. They're going to get the advantage of having the economy shut down. The longer the economy shut down, the more of an advantage it is to big business. Let's see. What else could you be doing? So another thing to be thinking about is what can you do on the side, like we've been talking about with small businesses. Now is the time, if you're getting laid off, if you are looking for a job, or you got a pay cut, or you got your hours cut, with small businesses going out of business, there's going to be a hole to be filled. And a majority of that is going to be big business because they're already in position. But if you remember, and if you frequent and you are a customer of these small shops, think about why you went to these small businesses. Why did you give them business instead of those big businesses? Because even if they go out of business, it doesn't mean they had a poor business model. It didn't mean that they didn't provide service. It doesn't mean they didn't provide value to the economy. And the sole reason these companies are going to go out of business is because the government shut them down for 45 days. But that doesn't mean that you can't start that same business. See, the advantage of starting a business now is that you can do it with low overhead, with low cost. You could find ways to improve the ways that they did things. So when the economy comes back online, quote unquote, you could be gearing up and hitting the stride of where you're finally releasing, that you're all set up and ready to go. Your market release can be for 30 days from now, 30 more days. What businesses, what side hustles could you gear up, could you tool up for in the next 30 days where most other small businesses are going to be frantically looking for ways to sell off assets, to get loans, to lay off workers. You could be gearing up and maybe even taking advantage of some of those great workers that have been laid off. So you need to be thinking of that in that kind of opportunity as well. So you have the investment channel where you should be investing in big businesses. There's the ones who are going to be, they're the ones that are going to be profiting from the shutdown the most. And then you also want to be looking for opportunities where you can fill the gap of where small businesses are going to be dying away. Look for those companies that were good values and take their model, take their same idea, and then try to improve upon it yourself. Another thing that was interesting to me from Donald Trump, again, before this happened, I was like 95% pro-Trump. Like there's 5% I would say that I was like, but 95% I was voting for him. I was all for him. I was preaching for him. I was singing his praises. And then 2 weeks in, even like his solutions, they were great. And then this $2 trillion thing, and then all of the pork that went in and the caving of the Republicans. It really like knocked the wind out of my sails with it. But then you hear about the airlines being taken over by the government. The airlines being taken over by the government. So we have healthcare taken over by Obama. Donald Trump's going to take over the transportation industry. Where does that leave us, guys? What are we becoming? Who are we as a country? Who do we want to be? What are we doing? We're spending trillions of dollars. We're shutting down the economy. We're taking over industry. Someone better get into Donald Trump's ear. He might have a high approval ratings compared to Sleepy Joe Biden, the lamestream media, the dishonest media. But what happens when unemployment next time is the same amount of claims or more? What if it doesn't go back down? What if the economy goes into a depression? Do you think Donald Trump wins then? Do you think his approval ratings are going to be where they are now? And then think about who's going to be in office. Think about that. The guy who just deals with every nation, bends over and takes it because he can make money. Can he put his son on boards to make money from Ukraine, from China? China is our number one enemy, and Biden is going to be the number one. I don't even want to say it. Biden's going to be really good friends with China. And where does that lead us? And even if he lives through his first term, who's his vice president going to be? What are they going to do in the convention? What happens when the Democrats retake the House and the Senate? The economy is in trouble. And if we are closed for another 30 days, the future is not bright. The future's not bright. So there's my raw reaction to shutting down for another 30 days. Sorry if it's a little negative. It really did. It's like a gut punch. If you have any questions, comments, you have any reactions, please email me, matt@howtobuild10.com. Find me on all the social media sites, How to Build a 10. Do not despair, as AD says, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.